Welcome to Daily Life Connection. Today we're going to continue to explore who God is and what difference that makes in our lives today, not just in general, but I hope these talks, as we share them and walk through them together, are affecting the day we talk about it and as we build it into our lives on the very day we hear it. So today I'm going to talk about the God who rests. The God who rests. In Genesis, right at the very beginning, here's one of the qualities of God that shows up at the very beginning of the Word. The very beginning, right in Genesis. And it says, when God created the heavens and the earth and so on, and on the sixth day, and then God rested. Then God rested. In Hebrews, we talk about entering into God's rest. We see Jesus from time to time getting away from the crowds, getting away by himself to rest. At one point we see Jesus taking his disciples and actually totally leaving the Holy Land, totally leaving Israel, going up into what's now Lebanon for an extended period of time with his disciples just to get away, to rest, to restore. The God who rests. You know, in this culture in which we live, resting is not valued very highly, is it? Production is, effectiveness, efficiency, getting things done. That's what gets valued and rewarded. But it's not that way in God's kingdom. God values rest. And in our culture, again, sometimes we might say, well, yes, you need to get away and get a rest. But the point is so that you can come back and be more productive. We live in such a driven culture. We live in a culture where our value is tied to our productivity. Our value is tied to what we do, not who we are. You see, resting, I believe, is more about who we are than it is about what we do. And I think that's one of the great reasons that God created the Sabbath. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Keep it set apart. Set apart to what? Rest. Set apart to rest. Set apart to be instead of do. Set apart to recalibrate what we value, just to rest. The reality is God values our resting in Him. And there's something that it adds such quality to our life, I think. If I'm so convinced that my value to God and to the world is in what I do, then I'm always driven to produce more and more and be more effective. But if I believe my value to God and to others is in who I am, then I value rest. Because it's in rest that I find Him working in my life. I find His image being restored in me. I find Him shaping me to look more like Him in that place of rest. So I would just encourage you today, and this is going to be a short talk because I'm going to rest. I would encourage you today to take some time, set apart a little bit of time somewhere through this day, and just rest. Now I know the temptation is, yes, I'll take some time to rest. I'll read my Bible. I'll pray. I'll meditate. No, stop. Don't do anything. Just lay down in the grass and watch the clouds go by. Or sit on the deck with a cup of coffee. Or lay down and have a nap. Just rest. God is a God of rest. He loves that. He loves that. And you know what? Here's my last thought on this today. Because God is a God who rests, rest is a sacred activity. Look at the Sabbath. Set apart as holy. A sacred activity. A sacred non-activity, a sacred rest when we cease from our labors. God said it was made for humans, this period of rest. So, let's say goodbye, turn this off, and go spend a little time in rest. We'll talk again tomorrow.